Good afternoon, class. My name is Dr. Devin DeLauder, and I am so excited to have the opportunity to have you in class. I wanted to take a few minutes just to introduce myself and introduce to you who I am, why I do what I do, and hopefully how I can help you in your journey towards the field of education and in the classroom. So I wanted to start off by saying I'm so excited to be here at Belmont. This is my first year here as well, and so I'm excited about the new opportunities that God has put before me and the opportunities that we will have together to share this semester to help you learn and grow, so that hopefully at the end of this semester or the end of this course, you guys will feel equipped and encouraged to do the things that God has called you to do as a classroom teacher or as an administrator. So just a little bit of overview in terms of who I am and what I've done in the field of education. I am a 20-year veteran, I guess you would say, in secondary education, having served as a math teacher at all three levels, middle school, elementary school, and high school. In addition to my classroom experiences, I've coached just about every sport under the sun, including some elective clubs. In addition to that, I also have about 10 years of experience in administration. Most of that time comes from the private school world, but several years also in the public school world across the Southeast, from Tennessee to Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and in Kentucky as well. And so you can see here this list of opportunities, as I put it, to serve within the field of education, a field and an arena that I am super passionate about and love to this day, and have enjoyed every second of my time here in the field of education. I wanted to start off by making reference to a popular image. If you're not familiar, this image here comes from the famous movie, The Black Panther. In The Black Panther, you have this scene where the chosen king, the new king T'Challa, has come face to face with the exiled son of Wakanda. And a lot of times, I wanted to give you an opportunity to learn a little bit more about me, and my life feels a lot like this scene, where there are parts of my life that feel like God has equipped me for every step along the way. And in other times, I feel like I can't hear God's voice. And then the field of education is so hard and so difficult that I'm looking for and searching for meaning in that community. And so a lot of times, hopefully, as we journey through this path together, I can help you navigate those feelings as you vacillate between clear understanding of who you are and what God's called you to do, and those times of indecision and questioning. So just a little bit of background about myself. I'm a son of Tennessee, go Vols. I am born and raised here in Tennessee, Chattanooga, to be exact. If you've never had a chance to visit the beautiful city of Chattanooga, I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to do so. As you can see from this picture, this is an aerial view of the downtown area, and they've done a lot of really cool things to upgrade that area, and it's an amazing tourist attraction. And this is where I grew up. Most of my family is in this area. I come from a large family where education was supported and encouraged along the way, and I wouldn't be here without my experience in Chattanooga. But a lot of times, the highlight view is what you get when you've been in this world for 20 years, like I have. But unfortunately, I didn't grow up in some of the best of situations. Just to give you a little bit of background of the Chattanooga that I grew up in, there was no real middle class that I was exposed to growing up. I went to different schools across the city, and there was a huge inequity from a financial, socioeconomic perspective. And the two schools that predominantly housed a lot of the folks that I grew up with were predominantly African American and minority, and those schools performed really, really poorly academically and in terms of allowing students to graduate and move on to different areas of their life. So as you can imagine, all the prosperity that was around me, I felt like, again, that exiled son, I didn't have access to be able to participate in that process because of the environment that I grew up around. This is actually a quote from the Tennessean, our state newspaper, that state that one in five African Americans are disenfranchised from our system because of felony convictions. And as you dig deeper into the research, what you also find is an overwhelming majority of these men and these women that are in our state had poor educational experiences. Many of them did not finish or matriculate past high school. And so your job and your opportunity as you move forward in this process can allow lives to be changed because education is directly correlated with a number of the issues that are addressed in this article and a number of the researchers around the country. And so I welcome you into this journey alongside me and so many other educators who are tirelessly pushing forward to help the next generation become the people that God has called them to be and to do the things that their hearts desire. One of the things, again, as I mentioned before, that I didn't have the opportunities that a lot of folks around the city did in Chattanooga. And part of that is because of statistics like this. This most recent statistic is from 2010. And basically what it says is education was not valued and was not taken seriously enough in these predominantly African American and minority communities, to the point where many of the students who graduate, even those ones that do overcome the hurdles and the obstacles that are in their face when it comes to education, they don't have the skill set necessary to move on to college. And so one of the things that we have the opportunity to do is to change this narrative, because the more children who are equipped when they finish high school to move on to career fields that require college education, the better they're going to be able to serve their communities, their families, and themselves. And we get a direct opportunity to be a part of that process. And so education is elevation is something that you'll hear me say throughout the semester, because truly I am a product of that particular saying, that education is elevation. As you can imagine, some of these statistics are daunting. They are overwhelming in a number of cases. But this is a story and a quote that I actually got from a speech from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but it's directly coming from the book of Daniel in the Bible. And so if you can remember the scene where Pharaoh is telling Daniel and his friends that they have to bow to him, and Daniel is consistently resisting and saying that he will only bow to the one and only God, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You see this back and forth going forward. And here in Daniel 3:17 and 18, it says, we were thrown into if we were thrown into a burning, blazing furnace, the God we serve will be able to deliver us from it. And he will deliver us from your majesty's hands. But even if he does not, we want you to know that we will not serve you. We will only serve our God. And so one of the things that I hold on to in this journey is God has given me a clear vision and a passion to serve the next generation in the classroom, in the field of education, particularly at the secondary level, and now coming to you to help equip you as you go into the classrooms. And so I've resolved in my heart these words from Daniel, that even if it doesn't look the way I want it to, or even if it doesn't come out the way I think it should, I'm going to serve God and follow the path that he has given me, because I truly understand and I truly believe with my whole heart that God's way is the right way, and the way of education is an opportunity for elevation. As you can imagine, this journey hasn't been easy. There are a number of people and experiences in my life that have guided me to this point. And so, again, in an effort to help you understand who I am and why I do what I do, I wanted to give you a little bit of insight into why I'm so passionate about these things. Like I said, I'm born and raised in Tennessee. My entire family's here. My wife's family is from here. And so if you start in the top left corner on these images, one of the top image there shows me at a football game. And that image highlights the fact that I was willing to move and leave my comfort zone. I moved my family over 1,200 miles away to Texas for an opportunity to serve because I wanted to grow and I wanted to become better as an educator. If you move over to the right, that image of me with the group of folks behind me shows that there's a cohort of people, just like you're experiencing right now, that are walking this journey along with you. And not only are there folks to your side, as you see me, who are equipped and encouraged by colleagues, there's an army of folks behind you, those students looking for your guidance, and the ones in front, the little ones who expect you to be there for them. And though that's a tall task, the middle row on the left, you see this group of folks who were the subject of my doctoral research, and they encouraged me throughout the entire process because their lives have been changed and the lives of folks before them have been changed because of education. On the right-hand side in the middle, you see me with my first group of students as the head of school. So as you can imagine, for those of you who aren't familiar with private school vernacular, head of school is akin to a superintendent. And so the weight of the responsibility that comes with building and growing a community of folks through education is amazing. In the bottom left, you can see at my graduation date for my doctoral degree, my family, my wife and my two daughters. Again, I do what I do because I want them to have the life and an opportunity that maybe I'd never had, and that can be better to equip them to change and affect the next generation. And just above the Belmont symbol, I think this picture symbolizes and epitomizes everything that Belmont is about, is me with a former student, a student who not only changed my life, but helped me reset and recenter everything that I wanted to do and how I did it as an educator. Eli Groh is one of my favorite all-time students who I taught in the classroom and also coached. And so the relationship that we were able to build, the opportunities that we were able to share, and the perspective that we were able to impart on one another as student and teacher, going both ways, allow both of us to grow as we continued our journey. And so those are the things, those experiences and those people are the things that allow me to become and do the things that I do on a daily basis from an education perspective. My journey hasn't been as straightforward as some might expect because I truly believe in my whole heart that God's calling me to do something greater than myself. And so I have to continue to put myself in situations where I can maximize and learn from the skills that I've already developed, as well as grow some of those other things. And so in 2002, I graduated from the University of the South with a bachelor's degree in mathematics. Following that, I took a stint in college football. So for a couple years, I was a graduate assistant at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, and then got a chance to do something really cool, which is go back to my alma mater, University of the South, as a college football coach and coach there. Again, building relationships through the field of education and using sport as a mechanism to help guide students moving forward. Macaulay School is a private all boys school in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So a chance again to go back home where I taught in the math department, as well as coach, as you can see, football, basketball, and track. And again, trying to put myself in the lives of the students there to grow them and to help them become the young men that God was calling them to be. While I taught at the Macaulay School from 2005 to 2010, I finished my master's degree in educational leadership. Ed leadership has been a passion of mine. I truly believe that leadership is influence, and everything rises and falls on the quality of leadership. I think that starts with the example that Jesus Christ gave us, and it leads us to today as our leaders, both institutionally and nationally, are going through the process. And so leadership, I think, is key when it comes to education, leading as a classroom teacher, leading as a coach, and leading within the school district. I got a chance to come back to Tennessee after going to Dallas And so I taught at my alma mater, Tullahoma High School, which was my first experience teaching public school. And while I was getting a doctorate, I was going through that process as well. So you can imagine I was flying back to Dallas on a regular basis to finish up the last semester of my doctorate while I was teaching and coaching. Most recently, I served as a math teacher initially, and then director of athletics at Father Ryan High School, which is a local Catholic high school here in Nashville. After 3 years of being an athletic director at Father Ryan, I got the opportunity of a lifetime to lead my own school. And so as the headmaster of New Hope Academy in Franklin, Tennessee, I was able to help guide an amazing mission for elementary students, grades pre-K through sixth grade, which was my first foray into elementary education primarily. And then the opportunity opened up for me to join the faculty here in the College of Education here at Belmont University. And so as you can see, there's been a number of stops along the journey, but God has equipped me and encouraged me throughout that process. It hasn't been easy. And all of those experiences that I've had from my youth all the way through the process has allowed me to be here with you here at Belmont and looking to, again, encourage, equip, and educate you as you carry the torch for the next generation. This job of educator is not easy. This job as educator is not for the faint of heart because it's not a job. It is truly a vocation. Being a teacher, being an educator, specifically within the field of math or STEM, is difficult. There are a lot of hurdles to overcome. But the thing that I've told students for the last 20 years is if I can overcome all of the things, all of the obstacles, all of the hurdles that were placed in front of me, from going to a different school every year from kindergarten through eighth grade, to growing up in poorly funded educational programs all the way through middle school, to actually being adopted prior to going to high school. All of those personal experiences affected my journey to this point. But the thing that I go back to every time is I know that God is with me, and God will encourage and continue to place people along my path to help encourage me, equip me with the things that I need, and to educate me for the next step. And so I hope this video is encouraging to you. I hope this video helps you understand that you have a lifelong cheerleader. That you have someone in your corner who's going to push you to grow. And a lot of times that won't be fun and that won't be easy. But know that I understand that it's difficult, but the amazing, beautiful thing that God has allowed us to do as educators, we have the access to, and your journey starts now. And I am so excited that you have chosen Belmont University and the College of Education. And I'm humbled and blessed to be your teacher. And I look forward to taking this journey along with you.